The sky was dark over planet Ziller. Strange trees moved slowly in the wind. The air smelled like iron. In the forest, animals ran. Birds flew away. Something big was coming. Kalira, a young alien scientist, looked up. Her yellow eyes grew wide. She was not like the others. She was calm, smart, and always curious. But even she was afraid now. A loud roar shook the sky. It was the Gorgoth. The Gorgoth was the most dangerous beast on Xyler. It had 6 legs, red eyes, and black skin like rock. Its teeth could break metal. Its scream could make other animals freeze in fear. No one ever fought it. No one ever survived it. Kalira hid behind a tree. She saw the Gorgoth moving through the forest, hunting. Then she saw something strange. A small ship had crashed nearby. Smoke was rising. It was not from Xyler. It was not alien. It was human. Her heart beat fast. She had only read about humans in science books. No one had ever seen one on Xyler before. Why was he here? Was he dangerous? Was he lost? She moved closer, careful and quiet. She wanted to help. Or at least see. Then she saw him. He was sitting near a fire. He had short brown hair and light skin. His clothes were torn, but his face looked calm. Around him, there were tools, bags, and a strange long stick, maybe a weapon. But what shocked Kalira the most was what he was doing. He was cooking meat over the fire. Thick, dark meat, and behind him was the dead body of the Gorgoth. Kalira froze. Her hands shook. The human had killed the Gorga. No one had ever done that. Not even the strongest warriors on Xyler, not even the armies. But this human had done it alone. She could not believe it. Her mind was racing. How did he do it? Why did he eat it? Is he a monster? The fire cracked. The meat sizzled. The human took a bite. He chewed slowly. Then he smiled. Kalira gasped. The human turned his head. His eyes met hers. She quickly hid. Behind the tree again, heart pounding. Did he see me? Will he come after me? But nothing happened. She peeked again. The human had not moved. He was still eating. Calm, like this was normal. Kalira watched him for a long time. The fear in her heart slowly changed to something else. Curiosity. Who was he? Why was he not afraid of the Gorgoth? Why did he act like he belonged here? She remembered the stories. Humans were weak, soft, and emotional. But also smart, very smart. They created tools, weapons, and ships. They explored planets. They adapted fast. But this was more than smart. This was something else. This was power. Suddenly, a loud sound came from behind her. Another beast, smaller, but dangerous. It had seen her. It ran toward her. She screamed. Before she could move, a loud noise came from the human's direction. Bang. The beast dropped, dead. Kalira looked up in shock. The human stood near her, holding the weapon. He had saved her. He spoke slowly, in a deep voice. You okay? Kalira nodded, scared but curious. His voice was calm, not angry. He held out a hand to help her up. She looked at him closely now. His face was tired but kind. My name's Jack, he said. I didn't mean to crash here. Kalira stood up, still watching him. She didn't speak yet. She didn't know what to say. Jack looked at the dead beast. These things don't play nice. He laughed a little, then pointed back to his fire. Want some meat? Kalira blinked. She looked at the Gorgoth meat, then back at Jack. Did he really just offer her a piece of the most feared predator on Xyler? She didn't move. Jack sat back down and continued eating. Kalira stayed quiet, hiding behind the trees. She had so many questions. Who was this man? Why was he not afraid? And most of all, what else could he do? Kalira did not sleep that night. She sat high in the trees, watching the human from a safe distance. The fire below him burned low now, but the scent of roasted Gorgoth still floated through the air. It was a smell no one on Xyler had ever imagined burned predator flesh. Unholy, wrong, powerful, the human. Jack had fallen asleep against a tree trunk, weapon across his lap, calm as if nothing around him could ever hurt him. Kalira's eyes stayed fixed on him. She had seen something the rest of her kind would never believe. The human didn't run from danger. He cooked it. At sunrise, Kalira returned to her people. Her legs felt heavy. Her mind was filled with fear and wonder. The city of glass towers and glowing plants was quiet that morning. But when she entered the council hall, her voice broke the silence. "I saw it," she said. "The human, he is here." The council turned. 13 elders, all tall and serious. None of them smiled. "You saw it?" One asked. "Did it survive the crash?" Kalira shook her head. "Not just survived. He killed a Gorgoth. And he ate it." The room fell silent. Eyes widened. A few elders leaned forward, their skin changing color in shock. "No being kills the Gorgoth," said Elder Marn, voice low. "You must be mistaken. I saw the dead beast with my own eyes." Kalira said. Its head was crushed. The human sat beside it, cooking its flesh like it was normal, the council whispered among themselves. Some thought she lied. Others thought she was confused. But Elder Vec, the oldest among them, stood slowly. His voice was dry like sand. "I have read the old warnings about humans. Long ago, before they vanished into the stars. It said they adapt fast, and they do not fear." Kalira nodded. "He didn't look scared. Even when I appeared, he just looked at me, like he already knew I was watching." Another elder asked, "Was he alone?" "I think so. His ship was broken. No signal came from it." The council went quiet again. Then they made a choice. A message was sent across the sky, across other cities, across other species. "A human walks among us, and he eats the apex predator." Panic spread. In the southern jungle, warriors sharpened their blades. In the floating city of Verail, alarms sounded. Some leaders wanted to capture the human. Others wanted to destroy him before he grew stronger. Fear spread faster than light, but no one moved yet. No one dared approach him. Not yet. Back in the forest, Jack woke up. He stretched, scratched his beard, and looked at the bones beside the fire. He picked up a piece of Gorgoth tooth and smiled. It was sharp, strong, perfect for a knife. He got to work. By midday, he had made a small weapon out of bone, tooth, and vines. His hands were fast. His mind was busy. He didn't know he was being watched again. This time, it wasn't Lira. 2 alien scouts crouched in the trees, weapons ready. They were from the city of Droth. Their mission was clear: observe the human. Do not engage. But Jack stopped working suddenly. He looked toward the trees, straight at them. "Company," he whispered to himself. He didn't grab his gun. He didn't run. He just stood up, stretched again, and said loudly, "You can come out now. I'm not in the mood to play hide and seek." The scouts looked at each other in panic. How did he see them? They were trained to be invisible. They were sure they made no sound. Still, they did not move. They stayed hidden. Jack sighed. "Fine, I'll come to you then." He moved fast. Too fast. The scouts raised their weapons, but before they could aim, Jack had already climbed halfway up the tree. They jumped back, shocked. He didn't attack. He just laughed. "You're not the first aliens to watch me eat something scary," he said. "Won't be the last." He climbed down slowly and returned to his fire. The scouts sent a message to their leaders. "The human knows we are here. He sees through our best stealth. He shows no fear." "What should we do?" The reply was short. "Retreat, for now." As the scouts vanished into the trees, Jack sat alone again. He looked at the quiet forest and whispered to himself, "This planet's getting nervous. Good." He smiled and threw another bone into the fire. Far above him, In the skies of Xyler, ships began to move. The hunt for the human had begun. Rain fell over the jungle like quiet whispers from the sky. It soaked the tall trees and rolled off leaves the size of doors. Birds hid. Small creatures dug into the wet earth. The forest waited, holding its breath. Jack didn't seem to care. About the rain, he walked slowly, looking for something. His fire was long dead. The Gorgoth meat was gone. Now he needed fresh food and something else. He needed to understand what this planet was hiding from him. He had already seen shadows in the trees, eyes watching, creatures whispering in a language they thought he didn't hear. He wasn't afraid. He'd been through worse in a war on Earth. He had once spent 7 days alone in the jungle, hunted by machines. This felt almost peaceful by comparison. He stopped near a wide clearing. Mud squished under his boots. In the middle of the field stood a tall stone, smooth and black. It had symbols carved deep into it, curved lines, stars, and eyes. He touched the surface. Cold, then a sound. A low, strange hum. It came from the trees behind him. He turned, calm but alert. 3 figures walked out from the mist. They were tall, armored in silver and blue. They didn't look like Kalira or the scouts. These ones had long spears with glowing tips. Their eyes were dark, faces hidden under masks. Jack didn't move. One of them raised a hand and pointed at him. A deep voice echoed from its mask. "You are the human who ate the Gorgoth." Jack raised an eyebrow. Yeah, it was a bit chewy. The aliens didn't laugh. "You broke a law of Xyler," the voice said. "No one may harm the apex. It is sacred," Jack shrugged. "It tried to eat me first. I didn't see any signs." Saying I couldn't cook it, a second alien stepped forward. Its armor clicked with each move. "You are dangerous. The council fears what you will do next." "Then why are you talking and not shooting?" Jack asked. There was a pause. The old ways say no war begins without challenge. Jack smiled, slow and sharp. "Let me guess. 1-on-1? The aliens nodded. "If you survive, you may walk free. If you fall, your death ends the fear." Jack dropped his bag and stepped into the clearing. The mud rose to his ankles. He stretched his arms. "Fine by me. Who's first?" The tallest alien stepped forward and removed his mask. His face was wide and flat, eyes black as night. Muscles rippled under his skin. He raised his spear. Jack didn't wait. He ran forward. Mud flew. The fight began. Jack dodged the first strike. The spear cut the air beside his head. He grabbed a handful of mud and threw it into the alien's eyes. The warrior roared, swinging wildly. Jack ducked low and slammed his shoulder into the alien's chest. They both fell. The spear rolled away. They wrestled in the mud, grunting, slipping, striking. Jack took a hard hit to the ribs. He coughed blood, but didn't stop. He clawed for the fallen spear, grabbed it, and rolled over. One clean move. The spear pointed at the alien's throat. The warrior froze. Jack didn't stab. He stood, breathing hard. "Are we done?" The alien looked up, chest rising fast, then slowly nodded. The others came forward. One lifted the fallen warrior. Another took the spear from Jack's hands. They didn't speak. Then the one with the deep voice said, "The challenge is past. You walk free." Jack wiped blood from his mouth. Didn't want to fight. Just wanted to be left alone. "No one leaves you alone now," the alien said. "They fear you more with every breath." The group turned and vanished into the trees like smoke. Jack stood in the clearing, rain washing the blood and mud from his skin. He didn't smile this time. The planet had made its first move. Now it was his turn, and far away, in a hidden room, deep below the ground, Kalira watched everything on a glowing screen. Her hands trembled as she whispered to herself. They challenged him, and he won. She looked at the council around her. No one spoke. For the first time in their long history, The leaders of Ziller didn't know what to do next. The human was not just surviving, he was winning. The wind had changed. It no longer smelled like rain or wet leaves. Now it carried something new: burnt metal, smoke, and fear. Jack sat high on a rock above the jungle. His ribs still ached from the last fight. A deep bruise painted his side purple. But his eyes were sharp. He watched the stars above, then the ships floating far away in the clouds. They were not hiding anymore. He knew what it meant. They were preparing for war. Jack looked at the planet below him. It was wild, green, full of strange life, but now it was watching him. The trees, the skies, even the ground, everything had gone quiet. Too quiet. He reached into his bag, pulled out a small photo, old, faded. A girl with dark hair, laughing in the sunlight. Earth, a long time ago. Almost there, he whispered. Almost done. Behind him, a soft sound. He turned fast but didn't raise his weapon. He recognized the shape, the glow, the soft footsteps. Kalira stepped out of the shadows. She looked tired, pale, her eyes heavy with questions. "You followed me," Jack said. She nodded. "You're not like the others." "I don't want to destroy you," she said. "I want to understand." Jack gave a small smile. "That's a dangerous goal around here." They sat in silence for a while. The jungle hummed below. Then Kalira spoke again. "They say you're a monster." Jack picked up a stone, tossed it off the cliff. "They said that on other planets too." "But you're not," she said slowly. "You fight only when they push you." "Doesn't matter," Jack replied. "I killed their symbol. That's all they see." Kalira looked at the scars on his hands. "You're not a soldier, are you?" "I was," he said. "Too long ago. Why are you here?" Jack was quiet. Then he looked her in the eyes. "I'm looking for a gate. Something old. Something your people buried." Kalira blinked. "A gate?" Jack nodded. "A hidden door. Buried deep under this planet. It connects to others. It's not Xylery technology. It's older, human-made." "That's not possible," she said. "We've been here for thousands of years. Nothing like that exists." Jack stood up and pointed to the stars. "Before you. Before all of you. A long time ago, humans reached these systems. Then they vanished. No one knew why. I came to find out." Kalira stood too. Her voice dropped. "You think the answer is here?" "I know it is," he said. "And your leaders know it too. That's why they fear me. I'm not just some lost human. I'm the one digging up your oldest secret." Suddenly, the ground trembled. Far below, a tower of light shot into the sky. A deep, vibrating sound followed it. Not natural. Not alien. Ancient. Jack looked down. His eyes lit up. "They found the gate," he said. Kalira's skin changed color, fear and shock. "They'll guard it. They'll kill to protect it." Jack tightened his grip on the blade made from Gorgoth bone. "Then they'll try." In the city of Veril, alarms rang louder than ever before. Leaders shouted. Ships launched. Troops moved. Like waves across the jungle, the gate had awakened. And the human was already moving toward it. Not to destroy, but to remember. And deep below, behind stone and metal, something old had opened its eyes. It did not speak, but it had waited long enough. The planet was no longer watching the human. It was calling him. The jungle cracked beneath Jack's feet as he ran. Not from speed, but from weight. Not his own, but the weight of the moment. Something was waking. Something older than the planet itself. He didn't stop to admire the glowing vines or the strange flowers that lit up in his path. He had seen beauty before. What he was chasing now was purpose. Kalira followed close behind. She didn't know why. She didn't trust him completely, but she trusted her instinct. And something deep inside her whispered one thing again. And again. Follow the human. Ahead of them, light spilled out of the ground. Not sunlight, not fire. A cold blue pulse beating like a heart. The trees stopped growing near it. The animals stayed far away. Even the wind wouldn't touch the place. They arrived at the edge of a deep hole in the jungle floor. The ground had fallen in. Black stone surrounded the crater. At the center stood a door, tall, wide, smooth, covered in marks that glowed softly. Human symbols. Kalira stared at them. This can't be real. Jack stepped forward. It is. He ran his hand across the surface. The door responded. Lights flickered. Symbols changed shape. The stone breathed. Kalira looked around. Where does it lead? Jack didn't answer, because he didn't. No. Not exactly. But he remembered a story. One that passed from soldier to soldier in the dark corners of war. About the first human explorers who went too far, who found gates between stars, who built something and then disappeared. He thought it was just a myth, until now. The sound of engines. Ships. Troops. Too late to hide. Too late to run. They came from the trees, 30, maybe more. Weapons glowing. Armor shining. A commander stepped forward, tall, cloaked, eyes burning with command. The human will step away from the gate. He said. Jack didn't move. This place does not belong to you. It doesn't belong to you either, Jack said. You do not understand what lies behind that door, the commander warned. I don't need to understand it, Jack replied. I just need to open it. He placed his palm on the center. The stone lit up. The ground shook. Weapons raised. Soldiers. Tensed. Kalira stood between Jack and the army. Wait, she shouted. Let him finish. No one listened. The commander raised his hand. Fire. Jack turned, and the door opened. A blast of light knocked everyone to the ground. Screams. Metal hitting stone. The wind roared through the crater like a voice returning after 1,000 years. Jack stepped through. Kalira followed him. Then the door closed behind them. Silence. They stood in darkness. But not total. Tiny lights floated in the air, white gold. Blue like stars had fallen and forgotten how to shine. The walls were smooth, curved, warm. The air was still. And then a voice. Not a real voice. Not out loud. But inside them. Welcome. Human. Kalira gasped. It spoke. Jack nodded. It's not speaking to you. The lights brightened. A large chamber opened before them, and at its center stood a shape, tall human, frozen in metal. A statue? No. A suit. Old. Empty. Waiting. Kalira whispered, What is this place? Jack didn't answer, because deep down, he already knew. This wasn't a gate to escape. It was a gate to memory. To truth. To something he was born to finish. He stepped forward. And the suit opened its chest. Not a trap. An invitation. And Jack slowly stepped inside. The suit closed around Jack with a soft hiss. Kalira stepped back as the metal plates folded over his body like liquid armor. Lights blinked across its surface. Symbols moved up his arms. The air inside the chamber changed thicker, heavier. Then everything went still. No sound. No breath. No movement. Jack's eyes opened, but they glowed now, white, soft, not human anymore. Not fully. Kalira whispered, Jack. He didn't answer, not yet. The room around them changed. Walls pulled back. The floor lit up beneath their feet, lines and circles moving like water under glass. Stars blinked into view on the ceiling above, not paintings, not images. Real-time sky maps, worlds, systems, roots between them. The gate had turned into a memory core, a living map of what had been and what had been lost. And Jack stood in the center, silent, as the suit spoke to his mind, not with words, but with flashes. First Earth, whole, alive, then other planets. Human colonies spread wide across the galaxy. Then disaster. A burst of light. A storm. A force that did not come from this universe. Something old. Something wrong. And then silence. No humans. No cities. No rescue. They vanished. Not because they failed, because they chose to. They sealed the gates. Behind them, to stop whatever followed. Jack felt it all, in seconds. Like a lifetime of memories pushed into one breath, Kalira saw nothing. Only the glow in his eyes and the way his face changed. Calm, then pain, then purpose. He finally looked at her. I know why I'm here. Kalira stepped closer. What did you see? Jack touched the wall beside him. It opened to reveal another gate. Smaller, dim, still closed. There's more, he said. This is just the first key. Kalira shook her head. Key to what? To unlock the old network, Jack replied. To open the gates humans built. We didn't vanish. We hid. We left behind guardians like this suit, sleepers, warnings, traps. Kalira frowned. Then why did you wake it? Jack looked down at his glowing hands. Because they're coming back. Before Kalira could ask what he meant, the walls shook. The gate behind them pulsed red. Alarm sounded from outside. The army had returned, and they were trying to break in. The chamber began to seal itself. A deep voice spoke through the walls now, mechanical, cold. Access breach, core lockdown. Kalira turned to Jack. They think you're a threat. They're going to bury this place. Jack nodded once. Let them try. He raised his arm. The suit responded. A shield grew from his wrist. A blade formed at his side. Not weapons made for killing but for surviving. The floor below them began to split. A platform rose slowly, another path, deeper underground. Kalira looked into the black tunnel. Where does it go? Jack stepped onto it. To the next gate, the next answer. Kalira hesitated. Jack held out a hand. You wanted to understand, he said. Come with me. She looked back at the sealed door behind them, soldiers pounding. Explosions above. Lights flashing. She made her choice, and took his hand. They vanished into the dark. Above them, the memory core locked itself once more. The planet of Xyler would try to erase what it didn't understand, but it was too late. The human had entered. The system. And the system had awakened. The darkness stretched on like a living thing, swallowing Jack and Kalira as they moved deeper underground. The air smelled of metal and earth, cold and heavy. The walls pulsed faintly with blue light, guiding them forward. Jack's suit hummed softly, the blade at his side folding away as they stepped onto a vast chamber. This place was older than anything Kalira had ever seen. Ancient machines stood like silent giants, covered in dust but still alive with quiet energy. At the center lay a pedestal, glowing with symbols that matched the ones on Jack's suit. He stepped forward, placing his hand carefully on the surface. The room responded. Walls shifted, revealing a giant hologram, a map of stars, galaxies, and countless planets connected by glowing lines. It was a network, a web of human worlds. Long lost to time. Kalira gasped. All of this? Your people built it? Jack nodded. Humans didn't just explore the stars. They built a system to protect themselves and everyone else from what was coming. He turned to her, eyes glowing with strength. The threat that made us hide was real. It was something that hunted entire civilizations. Kalira looked at the map, then back at Jack. So you came here to find this network? To fight it? Jack clenched his fists. Not just to fight it, to finish what they started. To stop it for good. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. The air filled with alarms and distant roars. The armies of Xyler had broken through the surface defenses. They were coming down. Jack drew his blade, the hum growing louder. Kalira reached for a nearby control panel, activating defenses hidden beneath the floor. Walls rose, blocking the passage behind them. Together, they prepared to face what was coming, not just soldiers, but something far worse. From the shadows emerged creatures, twisted, dark, with eyes burning like stars gone cold. They were the hunters, the ancient enemy. Jack stepped forward, his blade cutting through the air, light flashing with every strike. Kalira fired energy bolts, her hands steady despite the fear. The battle was fierce and fast. Every move mattered. Jack's suit adapted, shielding and striking, the ancient technology responding to his will. Kalira saw not a broken human, but a warrior born from the past and forged for this moment. As the last of the creatures fell, a silence returned. The chamber was scarred but standing. Jack looked at Kalira, breathing hard. "This is just the beginning," he said. "But we have the legacy," she said softly. They stood together, two warriors from different worlds, bound by a mission. Older than time, the gates had opened. The human had become more than a legend. He was the key to the future. And the story of Xyler and humanity had only just begun.